Okay, I'm back. Let's chop it up. Who's coming back? Let's see here. I don't have anything to just chop it up about right now by myself, so I'm going to see if anybody else comes along that was on the previous stream. Chop it up, and in the meantime, I'm going to play some music because some good music. You know what?
These niggas ain't hating. They just nervous as hell. That's all. I see it in his eyes. He's a devil in disguise. But he's a clever little guy. Cause I ain't see it coming at first. But now she dilated. And it's time to come to the earth. Bitch nigga birth. My gut is telling me about your legacy. It's time to pull the drapes back.
Oh my goodness, Rice! Hey, sis, hey, Rice!
You can't face me, so what does that make me? Somebody that you never been in the
So, okay, I just decided, to come back and let's chop it up, for a little bit. And while I wait for some of the others to come, I decided to play some music in the meantime. And this artist, by the way, is a local artist out here in Houston. He is a wonderful lyricist. He's not doing any music right now, though. I'm blessed and I'm grateful. Thank you, Rice.
I feel it in the air. That's a jealous man's stare.
YouTube cannot hit me with the copyright
Closing your eyes is the only way to deal
with this music because it's a local artist.
Stumbling when you mumbling while I'm living comfortable, your whole life crumbling, incompetent. You don't qualify. Say you wanna go to heaven, yet you don't wanna die. You's a living lie. It's a dead giveaway that I'm here to stay. I'm a boss. I don't care what the man in the middle says. No handcuffs on, but from the looks of your palms, your hands touch pawns, silent alarm. He's nervous.
I love his lyrics. I love his music.
I know what it is. He's nervous. He's nervous. He's nervous.
I'm a little upset. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. I just missed out on a freaking. Oh, that's copyright. That's a copyright song. Can't play that one. I just missed out on a great trade in the gold on Forex. I mean, I just missed out on two great trades actually. That booger. I'm venting. I'm venting about the Forex market. That freaking booger shot up and shot down. But today, and just like in the last hour, gold freaking shot down and shot up. It shot down right before the market closed on gold. Like while I was in the middle of my stream, like it shot down. No, before I started the stream, I'm venting. And then it opened up and shot up. I just missed out on two good trades. Okay, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. But gosh darn it, I hate that I missed that. Okay, so anyway, now that I've vented about the forex market and gold, I'm back. So what's good with you, network? What's good with you? Anything you guys want to chop it up about for the next, say, like 15 minutes? And what's good with you, Rice? Rice paints. Rice does graphics and she paints and does other stuff with media. Dickens of Defense, Ledford does videos about different things that he sees and wants to give his viewpoint on, different commentaries and music as well. So, where am I going to do it or when? I have to figure out how to set up how to actually use. Hi, Chef Disaster. Thank you. Peace and welcome. I see you looking, Little Rock. T517. I have to figure out how to actually get it set up. And once I get it set up, I will probably do one. I'd like to do one before I leave going to Arizona next month. So if I can get it set up within the next week or so. Thank you for smashing the like button. I appreciate that. I'm just chopping it up right now, Chef. Like, I really don't have anything in particular I want to talk about, but a few people were very active in the comment section on the last stream. And so I wanted to give them another opportunity to come back and chop it up. Peace, Joe Whitfield. Thank you for stopping through, hon. So I don't really have a particular topic that I am speaking on right now. I just wanted to give people an opportunity to chop it up before I go to an appointment later on. So, you guys have anything that you'd like me to chop it up about? That you'd like to hear me babble or give my viewpoint on, or vent about, or anything like that? If so, just type it up in the box, and I'll be more than glad to do so. ADOS? All right. Okay. ADOS. ADOS. Well, ascendants, African descendants of slavery. My opinion on that. I am still kind of, well, first of all, let me say this. I definitely believe that our people deserve reparations. And I believe, I believe out of all the things that our ancestors experienced in helping to establish this country, that our people definitely deserve reparations. I am not favorable at all of movements. I don't particularly join movements very easily. In my opinion, a lot of these movements are either started, developed, or controlled by mainstream in some sort of way. Accomplice. Welcome in some sort of way. And so I'm not eager to jump on bandwagons that just seem to pop up out of nowhere. Um, Another thing about that too, about me in movements, I am a big fan of making silent moves. So I think that when everyone is shouting the same thing at the same time, and without there being a specific plan, and that it was and when it was not fully developed, started, or created by us, I believe that it pretty much is a good way for, I think it's a good emotional meter. I think it's a good way for the elite and for the system and those that we say that we want to break free from, or that we like to, or we feel like owe us something in some kind of way, the system, so to speak. I believe it's a way for them to control us and for them to also gain an emotional meter on us. And I think a lot of times that they are also a distraction. So I'm not too key about just going full in and saying I am a supporter or I am a part of the ADOS movement. Another thing, now, don't get me wrong, they start handing out reparations. I definitely want to be in that line. I believe, because like I said, our ancestors helped to establish and build this country. And I'm going to get everything that I can get from this country while the getting is good, which is why I believe very much in developing businesses. I believe very much in learning about finances and finance portfolio and gaining in good and economic power and stability for ourselves personally and then also as a group. So that's how I feel about ADOS right now. Also, I think that I think it also can be a big distraction from people being purposeful and continuing to be productive and busy in their own way of gaining power by speaking so much on ADOS and trying to just, I don't know, just trying to be heard as if we haven't already put that out there, that it can just kind of get you off track. And at this point, I can't afford to get off track any further. So that's how I feel about that. Anything else? And I will. Shalom, Gap Talk Media. Thank you for coming through. I'm just chopping it up. I don't have anything in particular. So just getting also some thoughts on what people may want to hear me give my opinion on. I think it's a great rallying cry. A great rallying cry? Okay. I will say this. There are a few things that I am going to eventually address probably at different times because it's so much that I can't do it all at once to unite Black people. You know, the thing about that, and okay, let me backtrack to that. The thing about that is, I don't think that, and now this is just my opinion, of course, I don't think that that is enough to get Black people together, united, because there are so many there's so many different things that we have infighting about in general, that the code that needs to be got on for us to unite with that is still going to cause division. Like, it's way too much, like people want to say, well, if you have this, you have to have this amount of you, percentage of you, in order to be considered Black. Um, you can't have any white people in your family at all that you know of in order to get the reparations. So, it's, I'm not with that. I'm honestly, I'm not with that because it's just way too much. And I think that by the time, I think so many people, and this is not, anyone particularly here, but I think that so many people are waiting for Black people to unite all together before they take any real measure of their own life, that it doesn't, to me, make any sense. To me, when that happens, it causes stagnation. And yes, Black only. And I know that you are Black only. Tell me, what does that mean, though? What does, like, is there a percentage with you? Like, is that 100% African American Black? Is that 100%? What exactly does that mean to you, Black only? And I don't know if we're able to type all of it in the chat, but I'm here waiting, for you. But a few other things that I'm going to address. Oh, let me say this: mainstream media, and mainstream media is not your friend. Mainstream media is not our friend, and mainstream media sure the hell ain't my friend. So I'm definitely going to do a video about mainstream media and to do a stream about that. Everything black, no whites or white sympathies. Okay, that was simple enough. Everything black, no whites or white sympathies. I'm going to ask you to elaborate on that at another time because I want to know more like how does that fall in line? Like I said about, if people have white members in their family, is it 100% African American black? Is it 100% black business? That's all you do business? Is that all that you do business with? That's the only exchange that you have with your dollars? And we can't wait. And do you wait for that? And no sympathizers. Okay. I still want you to elaborate on that a little bit later. Sheep stay sleep. DS1. Thank you for coming through. Let's see. So I am still definitely going to do a video on my opinion about the Cynthia G situation with Robert Perkins and the effect that that has on the community and accountability. I definitely still want to speak on that. I'm still going to speak on Umar Johnson. And I'm still going to speak on what else? Oh, I want to talk a little bit more about healthy relationships. And yeah, definitely want to talk about healthy relationships. And that's going to be coming up pretty soon. It's just not the only reason why I haven't spoken about some of those things as of yet is because, like I said, I like getting different perspectives and not just running off the seat of my pants. And another thing is it's not a priority over everything else in my life because there are other things that require much more of my mental and physical space, i.e., my family, my brother, business. So yeah. Are you going to speak on those things before or after you get back? From Arizona, I will probably speak on, well, I'm not due to go to Arizona until next month. So I'll begin speaking on some of that before my trip. Thank you for coming through, Sis Flippy. You, guys, let me just tell you that once again, I am very humbled to have you all here, and I'm flattered by the way as well. Thank you for coming through. Let's see, anything else? Oh, you know what? Something else I want to talk about. I also want to talk about my own, like some personal things coming up with dating for me. I've been getting some questions on and offline about my relationship status, and I'm going to talk about some of those things a little bit more coming up. Yeah, that's going to be interesting too. Pretty interesting. Zeus the Thunder God, are you going to speak? So, for those of you that are still here right now, yeah, it will be. For those of you that are still here right now, I am taking on a few things that you all would like to have my opinion on. Oh, and by the way, opinions are like raindrops, they fall everywhere, and they're like buttholes. I was reluctant to say that, but opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. So take it with a grain of salt. Oh, one other thing, something I do want to talk about though, really quick, is I do not agree with anyone about everything. Period. I don't agree with everyone on YouTube about everything. No, I don't agree with anyone on YouTube about everything. I don't agree with anyone about everything offline. In my own personal life and my family, I do not agree with anyone about everything. So I am very much opinionated about life and about things in general and very expressive. So I am not trying to be a quote unquote fan or a strong supporter of anyone to the extent that my voice or my thoughts or my opinions get swallowed up. In no sense of the word. I have my individual thoughts, my individual opinions, my individual emotions, my individual drive, inspiration, motivation, and spirituality. So, but I respect everyone's opinion, and I respect everyone's motivation. I respect everyone's position. I like to get an understanding of different people's position on things, whether we agree or disagree. And I am mature enough to disagree and have others to disagree with me. I don't do beef on YouTube personally, and I don't do beef outside of YouTube. I don't care enough to do YouTube beef. Let me say that again. I do not care enough to do YouTube beef. I'm too grown. I'm too much a woman. And that takes away from my divine feminine energy. I will not do beef. I will express my opinion and listen to other people's opinion. And you can agree or you can disagree. And that's your right, and in as much as it is my right. But on another note, along with that is anything that goes against my moral compass or my moral stance, especially when it comes to being a woman and a black woman here in America, because we are criticized so harshly. I will not support, and I cannot support, because as a woman, that is a reflection of me. And I am unapologetic about that. I don't ask for anyone to co-sign. I don't ask for anyone to agree, because at the end of the day, each individual is responsible for your own movement, your own thoughts, and your own activity. That's why we are individuals. So if I say something, which I'm so glad that I have a platform, if I say something in a chat room anywhere and you don't agree, or a comment section and you don't agree with me and I don't agree with you, please know that I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not losing not one single bit, not half an ounce of sleep over it. And I suggest very strongly that you don't either. And not just me, but with anybody. Sometimes things get super intense, and not just YouTube, but super intense on these social media platforms. And if they get so intense that you have to wonder if, well, I wonder how people handle these disagreeing in life outside of these platforms. And how do you make business decisions, or how do you make financial decisions, or how do you put together and move in any kind of group? If you can't move in a group, and if you can't control your emotions online, you can't. It's different. I find it hard to believe that you're able to control them offline. I believe however you display yourself online is a at least a mild example of how you handle your emotions and your attitudes offline. So I have the option to come and use my platform to fully express how I feel, what I think, and whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent to others, and vice versa, right? But if by chance it is something that you feel warrants a conversation about, or warrants being argumentative and carrying on, I'm about handling that in a mature way. And I'm a woman, I'm a full woman, and I like to handle things like a woman, not like a girl, not like a teenager, not like a child, but like a grown woman. Woman to man or woman to woman, however it is. But also, I'm so grateful that we have these different. I'm sorry, I did not mean to not greet you, King, Brother Informe. But also, that's why we have different platforms that we can also go on, where you have people that's thinking that whose thoughts might be in alignment with your thoughts. So either they do or they don't. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. So I want people to, I want to encourage everybody to use your own voice. There are some people who don't have a voice. They, some people have been abused to the point to where they are afraid to speak. And us using our voice might be the only way that their voice is heard as well, right? Some people, they need the validation of others so bad that they won't speak their opinion or express themselves, right? So, for those of us who can express ourselves, I think that you should express yourself as long as your expression does not cause harm to anyone, not mentally, physically, spiritually, or emotionally, is intentionally express yourself. Please do. And also, it's unhealthy to not express yourself. It's unhealthy to hold in feelings of disagreement and anger, disappointment, and let those things just fester up, because eventually, in some kind of way, they will come out, and usually it's going to come out in a lashing, and it's not going to be healthy for anyone, and it's not going to be healthy for you. So, want to encourage that. I wouldn't take anything that I say personal online, whether it be on my platform or whether it be on any of my other medias. If you follow me on any of my other social media, which probably some of you are not because I haven't really disclosed them. But unless I say your name specifically, I wouldn't take anything that I say personal. But if you do, holler at me. And vice versa. Unless you attack me personally, I am not going to take it personal. Life is too short and life is too big, quite frankly. So, anything else I want to address with that? No. So it's 5:35. Welcome back, Clarence. And I'm getting ready to go have a meeting with one of my friends. Hang out with one of my friends and have a meeting. The hanging out part is because he hadn't seen me in a few years and want to catch up a little bit face to face. And the meeting part is because also he wants me to talk to him about Forex. In one aspect, I am excited to see him because it has been a few years. And in another instance, with the meeting part talking about Forex, I am nervous about because because he wants me to teach him how to trade forex. He wants to talk to me about teaching him how to trade forex. And he wants to talk to me about helping me to market myself as a trader and to teach other people how to trade. And I'm nervous about it. So this is going to be interesting. You know what's wonderful, guys? It's wonderful to have other people to support you and to believe in you, right? And please, sugar, spice, and everything nice. And I am definitely blessed in that way of having people to believe in me and to support me in everything. But sometimes I believe people believe in me and what I can do maybe a little sooner than what they should. So this is going to be interesting because, well, it's just going to be interesting. So we'll see what we come back with. Thank you all for hitting that like button. You guys are wonderful. I have 13 likes and three people still hanging out. So I have 13 likes. That is wow. I don't know how many thumbs down I have, but whether you gave me a thumbs down or a thumbs up, kudos and thank you, and I appreciate you. Welcome to all of my new subscribers, all of my new honey bunnies, sweethearts. I do call the people in my platform here my honey bunnies because I want to sprinkle honey and get honey back. So I don't know. You know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about me teaching people about forex before I think I'm ready? I have zero thumbs down. Wow, cool beans. What do you guys think about that? Okay, like let me tell you. If you've seen my stream that I did on forex, I do plan on. I already planned on teaching people how to trade forex, and I've had several people ask me before about teaching them how to trade forex, and they oh my gosh, and they believe in me. They believe in me and everything, and like literally, are some people are like, can I explain that? Some people are like literally waiting for me to get it down so that I can teach them, and but that's a lot of pressure, guys. The forex market is it's a lot of pressure. That's all I'm saying. It's a lot of pressure because forex is serious. Forex is serious, and I do believe. I do believe. Welcome back, Little Rock. I do believe that people should learn how to trade. It's a Forex is a way that can definitely financially stabilize you. And what is that? Okay, so go back and check out my stream on what is Forex. But Forex is the foreign exchange market, it's the currency market. It's like the stock market, but it is much more financially strong and powerful than the stock market. It's more financial. Exactly, Joe knows. Yes, it's more powerful and it's more beneficial and more stable than the real estate market. Trillions of dollars are traded on the currency market, and I do believe that many banks use your money on the foreign exchange market as well as the stock market, which is one reason why banks love for you to deposit, but they hate for you to do a withdrawal, right? Especially if you drop in a lot of money, they love you. They love you. But if you go back and try to withdraw a large amount of money at a time, they ask you like lots of questions. Peace to Raphael, and welcome. They ask you lots of questions, and they almost treat you like a no offense, but they almost treat you like a drug dealer or a smuggler because as soon as you put your money in the bank, they already have plans for it to put it on the market. But also, what they do is our government is trading with us and trading on us on the foreign exchange market, even if you don't have a bank account. And now, this is something that can go in a little bit deeper at another time, but your birth certificate is worth money. And they put us in the market in the money market at birth when a birth certificate is signed and turned over. So they already have what they feel like you should profit them when you start working. They already have a price on. They already have a price on our head. So that's another reason for me. Like when I started learning how to trade a few years ago, which I still consider myself to be a novice, right? Um, People are waiting for me to teach them how to trade because they feel like what I have accomplished so far makes me an expert in their eyes, but I am far from an expert. And they have been kind of, I guess, shocked at what I have accomplished um, in what's considered a short amount of time. But to teach that, once again, is a lot of pressure because. But someone asked a question I want to answer. I'm so glad that this is a damn glad that I'm short because I have my knee up and I'm wearing. Anyway, so would I be able to quit my job? Okay, so listen, Dre Raphael, that's a good question. You can definitely quit your job because the forex market is so profitable that it can change. It could literally change your life if and when you master it. It is 90% mental and not 90% mental, and it is 10% skill. So the forex market, the basics by itself can feed you for life. Can feed you for life, but it can destroy you if you're reckless. It can feed you for life, or it can destroy you if you're reckless. And so I'm very, very careful about how I talk about forex because so many people have talked about forex like a get rich quick scheme and have really played on people's emotions with it because they know that a lot of people they want to make profits. A lot of people need money like right now. A lot of people can think of different things they can do with that kind of money, right? And so they market it like that, and people begin to put money in the market. They don't want to take the time to learn how to read charts. They don't want to take the time to learn about the skill and build their mind up, and they take risks that are not strategic, and so they they lose a lot before they gain any profits, if gaining any profits at all. And then it looks like a scam. There are companies that market teaching people how to trade, but most of them are scams because unfortunately they prey on people's emotions and they prey on people's needs, that they manipulate the system and they manipulate the training programs so that people are constantly feeding their market and constantly feeding their pockets, but they're not learning. And instead of them profiting, they actually lose. And I don't like that. That's scrupulous, and people commit suicide. So if okay, let's talk about that. Wait, someone said, do you do any investments in the commodity? I do not do any investments in the commodities area at this time. Um, I trade gold a lot. I trade gold a lot, and I trade the Euro JPY a lot. And I am working on expanding that. I try not to trade too many at a time. So, but I trade gold a lot. I want to master forex before I begin trading stocks or putting any investments in any commodities. I don't pretty much. I like to learn, right? And I don't like to put all of my I like put all of my stock in someone else's information without me taking the time to learn some of it myself, because I have time, and I think that if I think that that's just a great way for me to use my time, right? Um, but I don't like how people market forex like that, and so that's another reason why it kind of makes me nervous about teaching other people before I think I'm ready, because I care about people's state of mind and people's spirits. And trading is also very much emotional. I'm more of a minimalist than I splendor. I don't spend unnecessarily. I can appreciate that. I hear trading is like gambling. Okay, so let's talk about trading being like gambling. Yes, trading is like gambling for people who like to gamble and don't want to learn. And that's the thing. That's the thing, right? Because learning how to trade anything takes time, and everything is a risk, which is why it's important to have money management and to understand money management. I even have a trade coach, right? Which, if you guys want to look him up, his name is Yusef Scott. He is a master trader. I love him to pieces and back to wholeness again. He's on YouTube, and you can also so darn easy forex is how you can find him on YouTube and how you can find him on Facebook. So I've even asked some of my people to just go ahead and sign up with him, because he is someone that I trust. I watched him for a little while before I chose him to be my teacher and my mentor to help take my training to another level, because I learned the basics, and what I did with the basics was pretty phenomenal. I would admit, but I had a different motivation, and I had a different drive, you know. So I lost sleep. When I first started learning how to trade, I lost a lot of sleep. And I had some anxiety behind it too. Because it can make you nervous, man. It can take you on an emotional roller coaster ride for real. But I care about people's minds. And if you're not careful, you will take dangerous, unnecessary risk just to try to get ahead. And it can cost you. Some people have put all they had in the market, right? And lost it. And people, like I said, people have committed suicide over that. So I'm very particular. I'm very careful about that. And it's a lot of pressure, to be able to teach that and everything because you know that people are relying on you. So I can teach the basics, but I can't teach people the mindset. What some people don't understand, what I try to tell them, is that I can't give you what's in my head. I can't I can't tell you what exactly made me get into a trade. You know, um, I can't give you that. You have to take some time to study. You got to take some time to look at charts and gain that mindset. So, Joe, do you do commodity? Tell me, what do you invest? Joe Whitfield is obviously a professional here. That's why I used to tell my clients to educate yourself on the markets before investing. And that is absolute. That is exactly what you should do. So when I meet with my friend and I tell him about that, that's what I'm going to encourage him to do, like I encourage everybody else. And for some reason, for some strange reason, people don't want to do what it takes to learn something different on their own. And I don't know why that is. You in the banking world. Oh my, see, Joe knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm glad you're retired. I mean, like, I'm not glad that you retired from banking world. I'm just glad that you're retired because I love hearing about people being retired. Period. I love hearing about people enjoying life. Please share with me something that you do that helps you to enjoy life. Joe, please. Okay, let me tell you about the first time. The first time I started looking at forex, I was deeply overwhelmed. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is how I looked at the charts before, right? This is how when I first after someone planted the seed with me about forex, and they disappeared, and I tried to like look into it for myself and try to just I was like this. And I would periodically still be like, come back, look. Yeah. That's how it was. And what really got and I looked into other people that were teaching it, and I learned that people charge upwards of 5 grand and up to go to a course and or an engagement just to hear about forex, not even to learn about forex, not to learn anything like a strategy, but just to get information on it. They charge like 5 grand and up. And I was like, man, if they're charging some places, like there were some people charging like 10 grand plus. And once again, that wasn't for you to learn. It was just for them to give you information and then ask you to join their program. Wait a minute. Well, we have a farm. So wow, you have a farm? That means you have some nice, you must have some nice land. And hopefully you have that is good. And you enjoy that. You know what? I think I heard you mention before. Maybe what now it says that you wanted to. Oh, you're gonna do content about farming, right, Joe? If I'm not mistaken, you want to do that on your channel? I was doing the same thing, looking at those charts. Right, and trying to learn the vocabulary. Exactly. Everyone, if you want to learn about farming, not follow, but support Joe's channel. You know, a lot of us want to learn about farming. I don't know if I am or not yet, but I'm going to support your channel. I don't want to say the sub word. Um, that's my friend right now. Yeah, that's him right now, like anxious. We have a meeting at. Yeah, and on the vocabulary. But here's something else too, Dre. The vocabulary and getting in the speaking the language, it begins to open you up for people to come to you and connect with and just begin to talk about it and keep the energy going. So, excuse me, I'll be right back, y'all. Well, okay, so this has been nice. Thank you all for joining me again. Let's see, did I miss anybody? I hope I didn't miss anyone. I came, King Devon, I came back also so that you could chop it up some more, but I think you got in too late. Thank you all for popping in. I don't know how many of you all are still with me, but thank you so much for the 16 likes. That is so freaking awesome. You rock. And I'm going to go ahead and get ready to run off to this meeting and share my thoughts and encouragement. Look up once again, So Darn Easy Forex. Yusef Scott. That is my Forex mentor. And also Google or YouTube the psychology of trading. Thank you, Clarence. I appreciate that so much. You guys are awesome. Honey bunnies, you guys are super awesome. But definitely, oh, also, but I want to say this right. If you have children and your children are like teenagers and and already you know that they're already on social media or whatever, please, I think that they should learn how to do forex, right? Peace, shalom, Malik Omar. Thank you. I'm so glad that you just subscribed to him. And thank you too, Joe. Thank you all so much. But I think that I would encourage you to expose your children to Forex. I would encourage you to expose your children to the concept of STEM education. And I would encourage you to um, expose your children to the financial world in general, as well as a trade of some kind of skill that they can have, some kind of trade that's marketable, whether they are going to go to college or not. But the powerful thing about forex is that you could start learning and teaching your children to just learn the basics right now, right? And if they should master it, even just the basics, no matter what field of occupation they go into or that they're in now or yourself, you won't have to worry about ever being laid off or worry about what kind of programs the government, supplies, and you won't have to worry about being fired or whatever because you will have something else that you can lean on, you know. And that was one of the things that made me want to really, excuse me, not just learn it but master it because I want people to have that benefit and those opportunities. So I am going to master it and I am going to eventually teach people. I just don't think it's going to be as soon as others would like me to do. So let me go have this meeting. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless. And remember, you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are powerful beyond measure. The Most High loves you, and so do I. Shalom. Until next time.